Hello, Scream Demons, and welcome to the Screams from the Basement podcast.
This is the scariest horror podcast on this side of the Black Lagoon. Screams from the Basement discusses the best double features the genre has to offer.
We also interview the industry's finest that make our screams become nightmares. I am one of your creepy co-hosts. I am Casey the Killer Kelderman.
And I'm Sam the Damned, and let's get screaming.
Let's get screaming as we are celebrating the 4th of July.
Are we, though?
We're celebrating 4th of July the only way you and I know how.
Yeah.
By watching two schlocky 80s and 90s slasher movies. Because, god damn it, that's our comfort zone.
Yeah, and we need it a lot right now. Two comforting movies that don't have any kind of social commentary that resonate today at all.
No, not at all. At least for one of them.
Yeah, one of them I don't know what it's about, and the other one it is very blatant in telling you what it's about.
Yeah, it's very, very blatant. The two movies we're talking about, though, today are 1981's The Prowler and 1996's Uncle Sam. Two horror movies that are two slasher movies specifically, and are two masked killers that are in military or Americana garb. That's how we came up with this double feature. I feel like this has been one on our internal list for a while to possibly do for a 4th of July spooktacular. And here we are. We're doing it on the 4th.
We are. We're dropping this directly on the 4th. One thing, Casey, I'm surprised that you didn't pick Return of the Living Dead for this.
I did
Just
not.
Because I know how much you love that movie.
I love that movie. That is my favorite 4th of July movie. But I don't know. It would just feel weird if we paired it with one of these two. Like, these two complement each other.
It would have to be a different movie entirely, yeah.
We'd have to find another summer zombie movie or something like that.
I've heard part 3 is really, really good.
I have not seen part 3. I have seen the first two.
Okay. So I've seen the first one. I'd love to see it with a crowd and not by myself on a Saturday afternoon sometime.
Yes, that is the way to watch it. It's a party movie, Sam. Can't be watching it by yourself.
Yeah, it was a mistake because it didn't really land with me. But I'm looking forward to revisiting it. But I have heard good things about the third one of all movies, weirdly. So, I don't know. That could be a double feature in the future.
Down the road. Potential. But the double feature we're talking about today, let's start it off with The Prowler, released in 1981, directed by Joseph Zito. You may recognize that name because he would later go on to direct Friday the 13th, Part 4, The Final Chapter. This is written by Glenn Leopold and Neil Barbera. Yes, that Barbera. Of Hanna-Barbera.
Seriously?
Son of Barbera and Hanna-Barbera. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
There's a connection to that later when we get to some trivia. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so this was released 1981, like I said, at the height of the slasher boom, which was really like right after, like 81 is
the slasher
boom.
Like, that's when you're getting the Friday the 13th sequel, the Halloween sequel. You've got My Bloody Valentine. You've got this. You've got, a fistful of other rando slashers that came out this year. I feel like you could do like a top 10 countdown of 81 slashers.
Yes.
That's how many came out this year. It was insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you mentioned My Bloody Valentine. I feel like this and My Bloody Valentine kind of go hand in hand. They're very similar in vibe and tone and overall style to the movie. But Sam, go ahead. Let us know what is The Prowler all about?
Right. So, the year's 1945, and two swinging college kids go out to a gazebo to make out, and they get stabbed by a jilted soldier. 35 years at a graduation dance that takes place in late June somehow. Sure.
Coastal
years.
school. Hey, we're going to talk about schools being in session in the next movie.
Yes.
But coastal
honestly,
schools go
these.
until the end of June. So I'm
Really?
not dissing this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that. That is something I learned. I've never moved out of the Midwest before.
There's even some Iowa schools that do go till late June.
Well, that's insane. If I had to go even into early June, I wanted to just like end it all. I straight up like Memorial Day should be the end of your school year.
It should.
So yeah, 35 years after this fateful 1945 dance, a new group of teenagers, well, college kids, one of whom has a relationship with the deputy sheriff, decide to put on another graduation dance in late June. And surprise, surprise, a prowler is lurking in military garb, killing all of these kids just trying to have a good time. The whodunit might be underbaked, but the practical effects are incredible. The Prowler.
So this is my second time watching this movie. First time I watched it, maybe like almost 10 years ago, probably. Yeah. At this point, for sure. I feel like I watched this like when I was trying to go through all the like not franchise slashers. So probably watch this and like My Bloody Valentine and what else?
Yeah.
What else? Well,
like
what
April
else?
Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. The Burning. Like watched all of those.
Yeah, The Burning. God, that movie.
Like close to each other. But I really liked this movie upon first time watch and was like, again, kind of like My Bloody Valentine. Why didn't we have more movies with the Prowler in it as a character? I like the overall vibe. I like the kills a lot. I told you this off air as I was watching it, came up with a slasher concept that would literally like was just the Prowler but in a different location.
Yeah.
But this time it was a different story. Sam, what was your first time watching the Prowler?
I actually this was my second time watching it too. I watched it more recently than you, I believe. I watched this on Joe Bob. Like, I think he played it a few seasons ago. And it was probably one of the earlier movies that I watched Joe Bob present. And I liked it, but I didn't love it the same way everyone else did. And I pretty much have the same reaction coming out of this one. There are things I love about this movie. The atmosphere being one of them. The gory kills being another. I think this is... It's hard to say because he's got such a wide range of work, but like this might be my favorite of Savini's work as far as like just the effects go.
It's his favorite of his work.
Is it? I mean, he should be proud of this movie. Like, I know he did Dawn and like a whole slew of other iconic movies, but like this one, the special effects are the star of this movie. Like, it is, yeah. I don't know. This is one that I get why it has a place in slasher history. I get why it's lauded as one of the best in the subgenre. I don't know if I agree with it. You know? It's a fine movie that has some excellent artistry in it.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the biggest problem with this movie is the pacing. It's a very slow movie. There honestly aren't a whole lot of kills, especially in the first half of this movie. And even when there are kills, it's a lot of people just walking around by themselves, waiting to get killed. Mm-hmm. Which has become lots obviously a slasher trope. Yeah, and tons of conversations that aren't about anything.
No.
Like there's really not a plot to the Prowler. There really isn't.
They kind of don't even set up the whodunit in any way. Like, they don't... It's not a whodunit, but then the ending kind of treats it like one. But it's like, you never gave us clues, you never gave us red herrings. Like, I mean, I think if you've watched a slasher movie, you know who the killer is from the first moment he sets foot on screen, because, like, can we just spoil this movie?
Yeah. It's 40 plus years old. Yeah.
Yeah. The killer is the sheriff, who literally in his very first scene of the movie is like, I'm going on vacation, see you guys later, and drives off. And it's like, well, that guy's your killer. Like, if you've seen a slasher movie at this point, you know that guy's your killer. So maybe that's why
Even
they
though it
didn't...
sets up so many red herrings of who it could
Does it
be.
though?
It does. The movie does. I don't believe any
Yeah,
of them. But the
I
movie sets
guess.
them up. You have the major who's in the wheelchair is set up as potentially the killer. No,
So,
they
like,
set him up like he could
I-
be the killer.
I know they do, but I'm like, no.
Also, you
the-
have the guy who like works at the like local, I don't know what you would call that store, the market or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's a little bit
I suppose.
maybe a little slow or a little weird or something.
Yeah.
Not sure what he was trying to portray, but he like comes in at the end of the movie and it's not him as the killer, but they definitely
Yeah.
set up he could be the killer.
He has a whole moment in the third act that is baffling and hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose it does set up red herrings. I just don't think it does it convincingly.
No.
And it never it's never really, the investigation never takes off, even though one of the characters is literally a cop.
Also,
It's weird.
our final girl, Pam McDonald, played by Vicky Dawson. I think she's good. Like, nothing against her.
Yeah.
But Pam as a character is just
Boring
not
final girl syndrome.
Yeah. There's nothing really to latch on to with her as the final girl. Like you do like a Jamie Lee Curtis or an Amy Steele in part 2. There's nothing to latch on to. And there's not really a group of friends around her that you're like, oh, there's like in My Bloody Valentine, you have the John Candy looking dude.
Yeah, Hollis and his girlfriend.
Yeah, and they're a ton of fun. You're like, oh, cool, I like them. They're cool. Let's hang out with them. And when they get killed, it's like, oh, no, that sucks.
Yeah, like I can name probably 5 or 6 characters off the top of my head from My Bloody Valentine, and I haven't watched that movie in over a year probably. I watched this 2 days ago, and I could tell you Pam and Rosemary, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And Rosemary's not even really a character. She's just the cold open.
Yeah, she's the catalyst for the movie to happen.
Yeah, but is she? Because does it really even matter? Like, I don't know. The 1945 thing is weird because it's like, does this even really play into... We'll get into it. The third act of this movie just leaves more questions than answers.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get to the third act pretty fast because I'm looking at my notes and I don't have hardly any notes for the first half of this movie.
Yeah, it's
literally
it's
my third note on this movie is about the guy who gets the army knife through the head, which is the best kill of the movie in my opinion.
Yeah,
and that's like
agreed.
halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much the first kill in the
modern
series of new kills.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
let's
like
talk
my
about
fourth
these
note.
kills. I want to talk about these kills. Let's just go through some of them because obviously that's our favorite part of this movie. It's the highlight of the Prowler. It's the reason to watch this movie. Tom Savini's special effects. You can tell Savini was a soldier by his special effects, especially.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he probably resonates with this movie more so than like Dawn of the Dead or Friday the 13th.
Well, and he's also performing a lot of these effects himself.
Yes.
Like, he is in the Prowler costume for a lot of this movie. Pretty much any kill scene is actually him performing as the killer, which is really cool. Like, I love that. And you can kind of see it because, like, all of the practical effects are pulled off in just kind of stunning ways, really.
He's the magician. He's not going to let someone else do his magic trick for him. He needs to be the one that pulls it off, and he does. Like, the one with this head where he puts this giant army knife into the top of a guy's head.
It's like a bayonet.
And it, like, keeps pushing down, and it holds on this. That's one thing I do love about this. It holds on these kills. And eventually, this guy's eyes just turn white. And I'm like, that has to be a real thing.
It has to be.
Because Savini is very particular about what really happens with people dying, because he's seen people die. I
Yep.
don't know if he's seen someone like get a knife through their head. I don't know,
I
but
mean, he
he
might
might
have,
have,
like,
and he might have.
that's, yeah.
But yeah, it's
I
an
think,
insane special effect.
well, and it's so tense too because it's coming because it's him and his girlfriend who's in the shower and they get left alone while everybody else goes to the dance to, like, get ready, and they're obviously going to have a little bit of fun in the shower. And he's getting undressed in the bedroom, and that's when he gets killed. And then you've got the fucking pitchfork in the shower. I gotta say, the pitchfork is an underrated murder weapon in a slasher.
Yes.
Like, I think every kill with the pitchfork in this movie hurts like a son of a bitch. Like, it's just, there's something about it that's like, oh God, like that's gotta be a painful way to go.
I mean, the pitchfork is the best kill in Halloween 5, where
Yes,
Michael
agreed.
uses the pitchfork.
I mean, it might honestly be one of the best kills in Pearl, or not Pearl, X, too.
Yeah,
The pitchfork to the face.
because that's the
So,
Fulci kill in that one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, where it cuts away and then it cuts back as the pitchfork's pulling the eye out, and it's like, oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, the shower scene, it keeps going, and he's like lifting this girl up with the pitchfork, as pitchforks are used. I like this is a gruesome, painful scene, and it is like it's honestly this is not one of my favorite 80s slashers, but this is like probably top 5 80s slasher kill for me. I love this scene. And this is the only scene that I like, not the only scene I remembered, but it was the big one that I remembered from watching this on Joe Bob. It was late. I was tired. I was probably um on some herbs. And so
But
I
also, we got to
didn't
talk
remember
about
much about this movie,
we have
but
to
I
talk
remembered that
about the
kill.
look of the killer in the Prowler.
Yes. Um this how do you feel about it first?
I love it. I love it because
Okay.
every slasher should be in some sort of gimmicked costume. It's like a wrestling. It's
Yeah.
like wrestling thing. Everyone needs to have a gimmick. You have the miner in My Bloody Valentine, where he's wearing all the miner gear. Michael
Mhm.
Myers has his own costume. Jason, Freddy, all the great ones do. The Prowler's no exception. I love the all green military garb. I love that it's not just a guy's face like hidden in shadow, that he's
Yeah.
actually wearing like a green like facial covering.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. And he uses military weapons throughout the movie.
And a pitchfork.
And a pitchfork.
Yeah, no, I do. I enjoy this. I don't think it's quite as striking as something like My Bloody Valentine. Um, and maybe that's because there's like it's all black, but there's like more to it, whereas like this is just kind of a faceless void. I don't hate it. I just there's one shot where it's like just the shadow of the soldier, and he's got the little like army straps hanging down, and like in silhouette form, like that is one of the coolest shots of the movie, I think. Um, I don't know. There's something about it that doesn't always scream cinematic to me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it makes sense. You're
yeah.
wrong.
It's
You're
just
wrong, but
yeah,
it makes no. I understand. I think it looks incredible, especially like there's a part at the end of the movie where he's like holding a rose, and just like the counter between
just the
the
nothing and
red flower and then the green nothingness.
yeah, yeah,
Good stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll come around on it a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
There's one kill in this that I find hilarious, and it's
Okay,
with the friend of Pam, like Pam's
okay.
best friend, who is at the graduation party. And at first she's gonna go get punch, then decides she's gonna leave, then decides to go for a swim, and doesn't
Yep.
say any of these things.
Oh, and she is a terrible friend because she
Terrible friend.
steals her boyfriend. Her I call him Deputy Dickhead in this in my notes. Didn't think to even look up the character name. I hate this character. I'm glad I don't know. I'm glad he dies.
He gets his.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
she ends up not getting punched or leaving the party. She ends up just going into the pool for some reason. Takes a swim and just gets punted right in the face back into the
oh
pool.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah, the kick to the
nuts.
face is brutal. And yeah, and then she gets the bayonet
Apparently,
across the throat.
yeah. Apparently that shot to kick her in the face is just like it's a fake leg
Okay.
with like a rubber boot so it doesn't like it wouldn't hurt. But they had to do it
Yeah.
like 18 times to get it right.
Oh, I mean, that's still a boot hitting you in the face 18
Hitting you in the
times.
face while shooting in the winter in a pool.
In the pool. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Um, I think between this kill and the shower kill too, there's like a chase sequence through the sorority house because like Pam is oblivious. She doesn't notice that her roommate and her boyfriend have been killed, even though she's in the same room. And then she gets chased by the killer
Mm-hmm.
through the like stairwell, and I love that scene. Like I think anytime the Prowler is on screen in this movie, it comes alive. It's
Comes
so
alive.
good. It's just when he is not in this movie. So
There's nothing.
it's not just the kills. Like there are some suspenseful like cat and mouse sequences and chase scenes that I appreciate. But yeah, it's just as soon as you're not in those scenes, it loses so much momentum. But yeah, so like
I mean,
yeah.
there's a scene I specifically wrote down to tell you how slowed down in between the Prowler sequences are. There's legit a scene where they call to like a hotel where
Mhm.
is it like it's where the sheriff is staying or
Yeah, it's supposed to be where the sheriff is staying.
yeah. And
Um
so they call this hotel and this guy's a lazy bastard on the other side. And we literally watch him play solitaire for like 3 minutes,
yeah.
pretending like he's leaving to go check on the sheriff or whatever. We legit watch someone play solitaire in this movie.
Yeah. To be fair, I find that sequence pretty funny.
It's funny.
But
It's way
it's
too
a little
long,
long. Yeah, it's a little long.
especially
Um,
where it comes in the movie because it's at a lull right before we get to the third act,
yep,
and we haven't had a
yep.
kill in a while, and it's like, are we
Yeah,
really
because
just watching someone play solitaire right now?
it's like right after the like they find the friend in the open grave. That's when they call the sheriff, and you're like, this should not be happening at this point in the movie. Like we're into the killing now. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't want to
Um,
watch some slob play solitaire.
even if it is kind of funny. But yeah, I so the pool scene too also uses like a Jaws knockoff theme. Like the score gets really Jaws, and it kind of even shoots it like Jaws for a minute, and I did appreciate that. There's a little bit of Jaws in this movie, which makes sense because both are Fourth of July movies. Um,
Do you want to get to the final act? Do you want to get to the third act? I mean, that's
yeah,
basically where we're at in this movie
yeah,
now.
that's basically because there really isn't a lot of kills. There's like Rosemary and her boyfriend. There's the shower couple. There's the friend, and then there's what the deputy and the sheriff, right? That's it. That's so insane. Why are
Oh
there
no
not
no
more
no
kills in this
the
movie?
redneck dude that works at the store gets got
Oh,
in the
that's
third
right. He
act.
also gets yeah, yep.
He gets his head blown off. Well, he gets shot. He gets shot. He doesn't get his head blown
Oh
off. He
my
gets
god,
shot.
that's right. The deputy actually doesn't die. He survives to the end of this. How did they not kill that dickhead?
The
He's in the
boyfriend.
car. Yeah, the
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Yeah, he does not die.
He
Did you
does
put him
not
down?
die.
No. He does not die.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Oh my god. That's so stupid. That's such bullshit. Why does he not die in this movie? He's terrible.
I don't know if anyone should have lived this. I don't know.
Like this is so clearly an ACAB movie, but you don't kill the like worst cop you have.
Also, our final girl doesn't get to do a whole lot. She gets the
Explodes
final
the
kill.
guy's head.
She
Yeah,
gets the
yeah.
final kill, but
She's mostly just hiding and cowering for a
Yeah.
lot of this third act. Yeah. Um, so they go over to the house and they find this like shrine to Rosemary, which is never really fully explained. Like why? Why does the sheriff have Rosemary? Like a picture of Rosemary in a rose? Who knows? Was he the killer from 35 years ago?
I'm
I guess
here for our
probably.
date, Rose.
Yeah. I oh yeah, so I suppose it's just I don't know. This movie doesn't set up anything super well. Like I just when he
Yeah,
because he unmasks
he's the
himself.
guy, right? He's the kid.
Yeah,
He's the
he's the killer from
yeah.
1945. Yeah, I'm putting that together now. This movie bored me to tears, and I was not paying very close attention. No, I was paying attention. I was just like, oh my god, when is the next kill? So yeah, I'm not a person who needs movies spelled out for me, but apparently this one I do.
No, I mean this one yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
So
lay everything out clearly. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, you really have to put two and two together, and like frankly, I don't want to do that in my stupid slasher movies. You put it together for me. I'm here to watch gore.
Just give us a villain monologue at the end of the movie, like all great slashers do.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, there's like a fun sequence where she's hiding under a bed in a room that's all covered in like sheets because it's, an old estate. And he's taking the pitchfork and he's pitching stuff and like crashing stuff through. And like I really like that. She tries to escape. There's a struggle. And he takes off his own mask, presumably because he can't breathe, which is kind of funny. And it's the sheriff. And then is it Otto? Is that his name? Otto or Otis or something.
Ooh, good
She
question. I don't
says
know.
it. She says it in the finale, and I want to say it's Otto, but I could be wrong. But it's the bald guy from the convenience store. He shows up, shoots him with a shotgun.
It is auto. Yeah.
Okay, Otto. Yeah, shoots him with a shotgun. Killer goes down. There's a weird moment between our final girl and Otto where she just goes, Otto! And the schmaltzy music starts playing, and he smiles at her, and she smiles back, and it just keeps zooming in on their faces while they smile at each other while like romantic music plays.
Because we're
Even though
supposed
they're
to
not
think
in
it's
this.
over. We're supposed to think they've won, and
Yeah, but their faces, like, they're giving each other fuck me faces. It's weird, dude. It's weird.
maybe they are. I don't know.
And then, of course, the killer pops back up for one more kill. He blows Otto away. Poor Otto. And then there's a struggle with the shotgun.
And then she, Pam, blows the Prowler's head off in
Yeah,
a
it's a.
fantastic head explosion.
If you listen to this podcast, you know we love a good head explosion. This is a great fucking head explosion.
Great one. Yeah. Tom Savini just filled this fake head with leftover lunch and condoms filled with blood. And that's the brain exploding. It's
It's
incredible.
so great.
Good
It's
stuff.
so yeah. It's so gnarly. It's a really good ending point of the movie. But then we don't end it there. We do the Carrie ending with the couple in the shower, and Pam comes back to the apartment. She finally notices, hey, maybe something's wrong. The shower's still
The
going.
shower's still running 6 hours later.
And she opens the door, and there's blood presumably all over this bathroom. She does not seem to notice the blood. Instead, she walks all the way to the shower door. Not entirely, like, it's not entirely transparent, but you can see enough through the shower door to see what's going on here. But she still has to open the shower door before oh my god, it's the boyfriend hanging in the shower and her friend laying dead from her pitchfork wounds at the bottom of the tub. And he like reaches out and he grabs her, and his eyes are white again. It's like, "Wah!" And then
Fade to black.
fade to black. Just a baffling movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it's kind of a funny ending. Like, I laughed, but I don't know if that's what they were going for.
Oh,
Like,
it's a terrible stinger ending.
it's really not very good.
This feels like a producer saw Friday the 13th from a year before.
I read that this was actually inspired by Carrie, which is...
Well, Friday the 13th is inspired by Carrie.
Yeah,
too.
that's fair. Yeah. So, yeah, I know that it's a trend of these 80s movies to do the Carrie jump scare at the end, but it doesn't work here at all.
Makes
it
no
feels
sense.
really weird. Also, the cop boyfriend is still alive. Like,
tease him as the killer.
Right? I know. Like, that's the thing too. Is I'm like, if anything, you should be setting him up as the red herring because this guy just like screams abusive dickhead. Like, I like what the fuck.
Yeah.
My only other thing about this movie is the setting.
Yes.
Set in Avalon, California. Joseph Zito chose to film this in New Jersey. This is the most East Coast looking motherfucking town I have ever seen in my life. And the fact that they didn't just set it on the East Coast where they fucking filmed it irrationally drives me nuts.
I'll be honest, I did not
notice. It does not
notice
look like California at all.
I didn't notice that it was set in California. Maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I assumed it was East Coast. Because this just feels like an East Coast college town.
It's set in an actual, like, Avalon, California apparently exists, but they didn't want to film it there, so they filmed it in New Jersey. I'm like, you couldn't have even found a town in California you liked better? Like,
just change the setting. Just say it's in
change the setting.
In Pennsylvania or Connecticut, whatever.
Right. Like, you could have picked any East Coast state, and I would have probably believed it. But, like, California, you tell me it's set in California, I'm not buying it. It's just baffling. I don't know. This movie...
It's the exact opposite of every California shot slasher that is supposed to be set in, like, a middle America, and there's palm trees in Illinois.
In Haddonfield, Illinois, yeah. So, look, I came down pretty hard on this movie. But, like, I do like this movie. It's one that I enjoy. It's not one that I come back to year after year. But, like, every couple of years, I'll probably throw this one on. For the kills alone. It's Savini's best work, in my opinion. And I really love that aspect of it. Despite the rest of the movie being so, like... that, like, I couldn't even put two and two together that the sheriff was obviously, like, the soldier in the flashback. Whatever.
Also, crazy that we're talking about a soldier who was in World War II. And it was only 35 years later that he came back. There's more time. There's a bigger time span between this movie's release and now versus movie's release in World War II.
1981.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is insane. I don't know. Like, I wish this movie actually said more about the military and what it can do to men of a certain temperament. I think the next one does it a lot better.
Worry. Yeah, I was going to say, don't worry. Our next movie does that in spades.
But this one just, I don't know. The social commentary in this one does not quite do it.
I don't think there is any social.
I think they were trying. I just don't think they succeeded. I don't know.
Sam, how many pitchforks are you giving the Prowler?
I'm giving it the same that I did when I watched it on Joe Bob, which is 3.5. It's a recommendation from me just because, like, it's seminal to a lot of people. Like, a ton of people love this movie. I wish I loved it as much as those people. But honestly, I think without these kills, say this had been cut to shit like Friday the 13th Part 7, which we just talked about like an episode or two ago, this would not have the holding power that it does. I genuinely think it's the kills and the gore that have made this one such an icon throughout the years, even now. But that said, those kills are iconic, and I really love them. So 3.5 out of 5 pitchforks. How about you?
Yeah, I'm at a 3 out of 5, so a little bit less.
Yeah.
It's still a recommend for me, that's for sure. More positive than negative. Pacing is horrible. Characters are
Yeah.
pretty much non-existent, but man, you don't go to a slasher movie for characters, you go for the kills. And does this movie have those kills? Insane special effects from Tom Savini. 100% the reason to watch this movie. Also, the vibe, the overall vibe and setting is really great in this. So, if you love a slasher with a good vibe and great kills, Prowler is that movie for you. And yeah, definitely still a recommend for me. But Sam, the one piece of trivia I teased at the beginning when we were talking about Neil Barbera. Okay, he is the son of Barbera, Hanna Barbera. Okay, Glenn Leopold would later go on to write the best Scooby-Doo adaptation of all time, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
That's right. Yeah.
He would also
You texted me that.
yeah, he would also work on, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invasion. He would work on
Yeah.
those movies.
I was
So I
about to
feel
say
like
his
the
name sounded familiar. That's
the
why.
Prowler is. I think the Prowler is the reason that we got the Scooby-Doo renaissance in the 90s.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Because obviously
That's
there's
so
the
cool.
Hanna-Barbera connection that happened here. Glenn Leopold would go on to write those Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
I think we can thank the Prowler for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Yep. Solid. Solid.
Hey.
A solid theory. I love that. It makes me appreciate the Prowler even more.
Yeah. So, that's the Prowler. Before we move on to our second film in our double feature, let's get to our first ad read. We've joined the Full Moon Army, and we want you to take advantage of our exclusive offer for listeners of Screams from the Basement. Full Moon Features, best known for their Video IO classic franchises in Puppet Master, Subspecies, and the Evil Bong series, is offering 10% off every order on fullmoonhorror.com when you use our discount code SCREAMS at checkout. This goes towards all in-stock items, including Blu-rays, DVDs, replicas, action figures, and so much more. Visit fullmoonhorror.com and use our promo code SCREAMS at checkout to save 10%. Also, follow our affiliate link down in the bio of this episode. Also, if you are listening to this on the 4th of July weekend, they are having their massive 4th of July sale, which is their biggest sale of the year, every single year, and I believe that goes through the 6th.
Yeah, I think it's through Sunday.
So, you have time to pick up any Full Moon related product out there. Hey, you could even pick up a bad CGI Gator DVD or Blu-ray and listen to our interview with the film's writer-director, Danny Draven.
Yeah.
But thank you, Full Moon. Thank you, Full Moon, for allowing us to be a part of your army. Get it? Because we're doing a 4th of July episode.
4th of July.
Yeah. All right, Sam, let's move on to the second film on our patriotic double feature, 1996's straight-to-video film, Uncle Sam, directed by William Lustig, best known for his work on Maniac, Maniac Cop, Maniac Cop 2, hey, even Maniac Cop 3. And written by Larry Cohen, who you might recognize that name from writing and directing The Stuff. Cue the Winged Serpent, It's Alive. Who's who of schlocky classic horror movies. Ballers on a budget, if there ever were ones, are Larry Cohen and William Lustig. Sam, will you tell us about your Uncle Sam?
A psychopathic soldier is killed in action in Kuwait, and his body is returned to his widow, his sister, and his psychopath in training nephew. When a group of vandals burns an American flag over his grave, this psychopathic soldier comes back from the dead to brutally murder anyone he deems un-American. The commentary? Timely. The kills? Gnarly. That kid? Total dickhead.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, this was a first time watch for both of us. I gotta shout out the
Yes.
cast quick for a second here. Um, Mostly two big notable names that are in this movie. Isaac Hayes, who
Hmm.
plays Jed Crowley, a former soldier who lost his leg in the war. And then you also have Robert Forrester, who plays the kind of sleazeball congressman who comes to this small town. Both Academy Award nominated actors
Yeah.
that
And Uncle
appear
Sam.
in the 1996 straight to video Uncle Sam.
Also, you can't tell me that this movie is not a prequel to South Park,
Oh yeah,
because
it's
Isaac Hayes is just playing chef in this
he's
movie.
chef. He's leading around children
He
and
just
teaching them life lessons.
Yes, it's
Hello
hilarious.
there,
Like
children.
about halfway through this movie, I was like, I recognized the name Isaac Hayes. I was having trouble remembering, and I didn't look it up while I was watching the movie. And it was about halfway through the movie when he went like, "Come here, kids," and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Chef."
Hi, chef.
Yeah, he's my favorite part about this movie.
Oh,
honestly,
I think he's really good
so
in
fun.
this movie.
He's
Yeah.
really good. Like he is doing more than what a direct to video movie deserves. Honestly, I say that for just about everybody in this freaking movie. Like behind the camera, in front of the camera, like
I
a
would
lot
say
of people are doing like
almost
yeah,
everyone else besides Isaac Hayes are doing what I expect in front of the camera from a straight
yeah,
to video
maybe.
movie. Behind the
Yeah,
camera, though, you can tell that William Lustig can make $1 look like make $1 look like $100. He knows how to work
yeah,
with a budget. This did have a $2 million budget because they were giving budgets to straight to video movies, but this looks really good.
yeah. It is genuinely like it's shot with more panache. It's got like it's got excellent lighting, great fog work, some insane stunts in the back half of this movie. Like some of the stunts in this movie, I'm like, this is
Ton
direct to video movie. Like what the fuck are we doing?
Tons of production value, tons of extras, different locations.
Yeah.
Like it's a real legit movie, and it's kind of crazy. This came out in 1996. So like talking about movies during the time, because we talked about 1981 was like the slasher boom.
Yep.
1996 slashers were dead until a little movie came out
And not
called
until December.
called Uncle Sam.
Oh, like
No,
hell.
Scream. Yeah, Scream came out in December of '96. So at the end of '96, we're in like again, a slasher has to go straight to video just to get made at this point.
Yep. Yep. Honestly, this is a damn good straight to video slasher. Um I think I think the front half can drag a little bit. I don't necessarily know if the setup of this movie is quite as good as like what pays off in the back half. But the back half makes the kind of like okay, let's get through all of this front half worth it in my opinion. Like I genuinely liked this a lot more than I thought I was going to going into it. My first note is super snarky. I'll be honest. I think I was just like I psyched myself up because I looked at Letterboxd reviews. I should never do that. Um and I was like I had to watch it. I was like this feels like homework. Okay, like let's watch. I was so won over by the end of this movie. Like my snarky attitude totally left. Like about I don't know 30 minutes into this thing, like I was like, nope, I see what you're doing, movie. I like this. And then when the kills happened, I'm like, yeah, this is solid. But my first note is like, oh sure, all slasher movies should start in Kuwait. Like, what a weird opening for a slasher. Seriously, like what the fuck? Not what I was expecting at all.
This opening is nuts though, because you have who is this? This has to be this guy at the beginning. Actor's name is David Shark Freilich, who plays the Master Sergeant
Yeah.
with this like deep, grovelly like, check out the bodies over there. Like, he has this
Yeah.
really weird, deep voice.
Yeah.
And that's where we're introduced to Sam Harper, our antagonist of this movie, whose helicopter crashed in Kuwait during the war. And basically everyone has perished in this friendly fire that has accident that has happened. Except Sam is still alive. And for some reason, shoots the soldier that's checking his dog tag, that also takes out the like master sergeant and kills both of them, and says, like, how's that for friendly fire?
Yeah.
And then
So
then he does actually die?
yeah, then he succumbs to his wounds. Um so it's like a very odd opening that I did not vibe with this opening, I'll be honest. That, and like part of that might have been my snarky mood, but part of it is just like, what the fuck are we doing? Is this like, was he killed by friendly fire? What's the story here? Like, do we care enough? I mean, we don't, so we move on. But it's kind of jarring, honestly.
It's just
It
to
tells
show
you
that
very little about the
Sam,
actual character.
it's just to show that Sam Harper, Uncle Sam, is just a murderous psychopath.
I suppose, but
Right?
like, but it's also implied that he was killed by friendly fire. So like, my idea is like, does he think these people had something to do with it? It's not immediately like, oh, he just joined the war to kill people. Like,
They do say
that's
that
not
later
what
on.
they do say it later on, but they have to explicitly say it for me to, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too dumb to follow slasher movies. Casey.
No. There are so many questions that we'll get into with Uncle Sam that they don't ever explain.
Don't we go straight from this opening to, and I quote myself, cheap ass opening credits?
Oh, I watched a
It's the
couple other
cheapest part of the
reviews.
whole movie.
I love those credits, though.
I hated it.
Oh my god! I've seen so many people hate him because it's basically all this B-roll footage of like military parades and like people in Uncle Sam costumes.
Yeah, it's free domain, public domain footage imposed over. So like, it's a widescreen shot of an American flag with like a letterboxed montage. So it's like clearly for the VHS, it was cut to just the thing. But like for whatever reason, when they brought it back to widescreen, they put this like JPEG of an American flag behind it. I don't know. It's so cheap. It's like public domain music. It's the like I don't know. I hated it so much. I'm like, this is not setting the tone for a slasher movie. What are you doing?
Oh, it sets the tone for Uncle Sam, though.
I don't think it does at all.
It
sticks
does.
out like a sore fucking thumb.
It's a mockery of like Americana and rah 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 America that this movie is doing.
But it's not mocking it. It'd be one thing.
No.
Like,
It's not like the credits themselves are not mocking it. It is setting it up as these are the things that we're going to make fun of later on in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and what is the symbol of pro-America, pro-military specifically?
Uncle Sam.
Is
at that
Uncle
point,
Sam.
anyways.
Yeah.
Now it's red hats, but
This little kid that we're going to get to wears a red hat nowadays, that's for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, it's setting up that Uncle Sam is this symbol for the military in the most like over-the-top military rah-rah America way in these credits. I love these credits. I understand why people don't like them. It is super cheap and cheesy, but it's definitely what that's going for.
I don't know. I did not. I think in a movie that's full of excellent on the nose choice, like excellent but on the nose choices as far as commentary goes, these credits fall flat. Like, I do not like this.
Fair,
I think
fair.
it starts and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, is this a History Channel special or a goddamn slasher?
Well, let's get to our main character then, Jody.
Yeah,
Who is
Jody.
this young boy who is obsessed with the military, and specifically his Uncle Sam,
Yep.
his physical Uncle Sam, who has gone
Whose
off.
widow doesn't even want the body.
We'll get to the widow and his mom, and who's related to who. I was very confused for a long time. Who's related to who in this family?
Sam and
His
um
mom are
Jody's
brother and
mom
sister.
are brother sister, and then yeah, the widow. But they also cast two actresses that look very
I
similar.
thought they were
So
sisters,
like they should be sisters theoretically, and like they're not.
but it's
And but
also
they're
implied that Sam left the house that his sister was still living in to go marry a woman who looked just like his sister to do all the horrible things he used to do to her to his new wife.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty yucky. It's
very
pretty
yucky.
yucky. I'm glad that it doesn't show any of that as more as it's like for the subject matter, it's pretty tastefully done as far as like they tell their kid in so many ways like of what he did. And they don't explicitly say anything. You just know from inference what they're talking about. Um but yeah, like everything about their reaction to his body coming home is like how shitty was this dude if they don't even want the body around? Like, that's insane. But the kid is just like got this hero complex. And I wrote down one of his lines because it was bone chilling. And it's when I grow up, I'm going to join the army just like Sam did. And I'm going to do everything the president says because he knows better. Fuck. Larry Cohen is not someone who is known for like subtle subtlety in his like social commentary. Like you watch the stuff and like it's basically like hitting you over the head with a bat going, this is about consumerism. And this movie is very similar in which it is hitting you over the head and going, this is what happens when you let patriotism become nationalism.
Yes. Yeah. 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 It's
Yeah.
Uncle Sam holds up extremely well 30 years later. Insanely
And
well.
I wish it didn't.
I wish it didn't too. I wish it didn't. But yeah, it does. It does. And also he says something later on about the young Jody says basically like I would like we need to kill people who are against the military or whatever or against the flag. I'm trying to remember what.
Yeah, he says it to his teacher.
Yeah. Well, he
Because it's
basically calls his teacher a pussy for
yeah.
boycotting Vietnam.
And then he
Well,
tries to be like, well, it's not what I said.
My Uncle
Sam
said
did.
that about you, and I love him.
Yeah. There's also I wrote this down. I don't know who says it, but maybe it's Jody says like everyone dies anyway. And I'm like, we literally had a fucking
Yeah,
like
he says
public
that.
representative say it. Like this is something that verbatim like everybody dies anyway is something that our public fucking leaders have said on a podium on record. Like what the fuck? We are living in satire right now, dude. It's insane. I like this
People
movie
say
brought
we're
up
living in
so many
idiocracy. No, no,
feelings.
no, no. We're living in
We're
William
living in a
Lustig's Uncle
mix.
Sam
Yeah, we're living in a mix between idiocracy and this fucking movie.
and Uncle Sam. Yeah,
Uh,
it's insane that the social commentary holds up so well. Especially like I love this conversation that Isaac Hayes, who plays Jed, has with Jody because Jed was basically he was the Uncle Sam to Uncle Sam. He was the guy Uncle Sam looked up to want to join the military. And now no one is more critical of the military than Isaac Hayes' character. And basically tells Jody, like, no, you don't want to join the military. Go be a doctor and save lives instead of taking them. And says, what is, I agree with this line of like, he basically says what we were fighting for when he was fighting, which was during World War II. We knew what we were fighting for. Now we don't. We're
yeah.
fighting for the money side. We're not fighting for we're not fighting to save lives anymore. We're fighting to line the pockets of billionaires.
Like,
Still what we're doing.
yeah, it is. And it's like, you can support the idea of soldiers and people who join the military without agreeing with the reasons that our military is being deployed. And I think there's a fine line there right now. I also think that in today's times, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's hard not to get into it because this movie really, really brings up a lot of issues about like, is it okay to just fall under the guise of like I was following orders? Is it okay? Like there's a real conversation to be had about that. Literally from this shitty little B movie that like is so stupid and so smart at the same time.
Mhm.
Like I was floored because I'm like, this is the dumbest smart movie I've
This
ever
is
watched.
this is the perfect example of why horror matters
Yes.
and why I hate the fucking term elevated horror. Because no one in their
Agreed.
life is ever gonna call Uncle Sam elevated horror. But god damn it, Uncle Sam has more to say than most elevated horror movies.
Uncle Sam has more to say than Hereditary, and we can put that in a TikTok clip for all the people who've bitched about me excluding Hereditary.
It's true, and I love Hereditary was my favorite movie of 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Favorite movie of that. Not an elevated horror movie.
It's a good movie. It's not that deep.
No! It's no Uncle Sam. Hereditary is no Uncle Sam.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. Uncle Sam is more thematically resonant than Hereditary.
It's true.
we got to put this on TikTok. People are gonna have a conniption in the
I
comments.
hope so. But so when Jed is having this conversation with Jody, there's a certain line where I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Is he's talking because Jody wants to see his leg, his wooden leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I bet you heard other stories about my third leg going missing too. Well, you better tell that to my kids and grandkids. Like he's talking about like apparently there's stories like someone's telling stories of Isaac Hayes' dick getting blown off.
That actually might have been the moment where I realized it was Chef. Because, like, that sounded straight out of a South Park episode to me.
Like, Chef still has a dick?
Yeah. I still have a dick, children.
Children?
You can ask my grandkids.
Literally, that's...
Yeah, like, seriously.
To this
it's
kid
so funny.
outside by himself.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy line.
He's not a creepy character, though. Like, there's so many creepy characters in this movie. He is not one of them besides that one line. Speaking of creepy characters, what is up with this sergeant?
The sergeant twinning?
Yes.
Oh, he sucks. He
okay,
sucks
so this
bad.
the sergeant who was sent to Sam's widow to tell her, hey, he did pass away. We're going to send the body back. I will help with all the funeral arrangement type stuff. And we see him later in the, like, he touches her hand really weird. It's just like, I don't know, just really weird vibes.
Yeah. Oh, God. And he has that phone conversation.
But then he has that phone conversation where he's like
I'm 750.
I have a batting average of 750 with these widows. I'm like, what?
That's so gross.
You creepy old man?
Oh, it's awful. I'm just like, okay, just so I don't make an ass of myself. This guy does die in this movie, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay, good.
He ends up in the casket.
They find him in the casket.
He's in the casket later on.
Yeah, I just didn't want to pull a deputy dipshit from last conversation.
No, he ends up in the casket. He does die off screen, but we see his body. But yeah, he's basically like, I'm gonna sleep with Uncle Sam's widowed wife and possibly Uncle Sam's sister. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because he's like, oh, I bet I get 2 this time. And I'm like, that is disgusting. Like, also, what room were you in? Because those 2 are clearly not mourning. They are not in mourning. They are, like, I think it's even implied that, like, Sam's widow has completely moved on.
Yeah, she's with
yeah,
Deputy
right.
Dipshit in this movie.
Yeah, she's another terrible deputy romance. Yeah.
And has been with him apparently all the time that Uncle Sam's been gone.
Yeah.
I mean, good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Get away from that douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the graveyard scene. I feel like we should talk about the graveyard scene.
So instead of, Jason Voorhees getting resurrected by a giant pole getting struck by lightning and resurrecting him back to life, or a dog named Jason pissing on Freddy Krueger's grave to bring him back to life. How is Uncle Sam brought back to life?
So there are a bunch of vandals in the graveyard where Sam is not yet buried, but is going to be buried. And his grave is dug. It's open. And there are a bunch of vandals that are spray painting the tombstones. And at one point they take out an American flag and they start burning it and waving it around. And pieces of the burning flag fly off and fall into Sam's grave. And we're meant to believe that that is what wakes Sam up from the dead. Is a grave he's not even connected to yet. Jesus Christ, it's kind of hilarious.
It is so funny. It is literally how he is reanimated back to life as like a zombie soldier.
Yep.
Because someone lights a flag 10 miles away from where he's at on top of his grave.
And he goes and he steals his box of medals back from his nephew, and like he never uses them, so I don't know why he took them.
He puts them on.
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he puts them on. So yeah, and he goes and he starts killing people, which is really where this movie takes off for me. I love the kills in this movie. They're not masterpieces of gore like stuff in the Prowler is, but they're really creative and a lot of fun. Like no kill is the same in this movie at all.
There are some kills I've never seen before, at least setups to kills. Like,
oh yeah.
Speaking of the Uncle Sam of this all, again, the character's name is actually Sam. He does eventually put on an Uncle Sam costume because the guy who is portraying Uncle Sam in the 4th of July celebration is wearing giant stilts in the middle of the night while being a peeping Tom and like pops a boner when he sees this chick undress.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, and like starts stumbling away on his stilts. Eventually, we get a chase.
Trivia about this scene.
We get a chase sequence. What did you say?
Did you see a certain piece of trivia about this scene regarding the actress that was in the nude?
Oh, that she would only do it because if she got the mask.
Yeah, she wanted to take home one of the Uncle Sam masks from the production.
Hey, she was down.
That was cool. I was like, okay, that's
Did you
rad.
see the after credit scene of this movie though?
What?
There was an after credit scene to Uncle Sam.
I did not realize there was an after credit scene.
It's literally just like the wide shot of the guy walking on the stilts, away from the house to the road.
Uh-huh.
Except he falls over.
Amazing. That might be worth rewatching this again on the 4th.
Yeah. It definitely is. It's so funny. But there's an entire like slasher chase sequence with Uncle Sam chasing Uncle Sam on stilts.
Yeah. It's really good. And then he takes the garden shears to him like Friday the 13th Part 5 style.
Yeah, the burning style. Fun.
Yeah, the burning. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. The burning did it first.
Steals the costume, pops it on.
Yeah.
We should mention the costume here and the makeup effects. Friend of the show, Joe Castro, actually did the makeup effects on the costume. So like painted the hair and did the goatee and.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah. This mask is really cool. I love the actual hair that comes off of it. Like it just, and it's very sinister. It doesn't look like any Uncle Sam mask I've ever seen, but I kind of love that. Like I love that it's just genuinely like a creepy ass Uncle Sam mask.
And he has like these like yellow Sith eyes underneath too.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really fun. He immediately goes to his grave. And one of the vandals is still there.
Yeah, taking a piss. And
he buries the vandal alive in his own grave, which
not
is like
before he takes the spray paint.
Oh God, yeah.
Spray paints him, and that's how the guy ends up in the hole.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. Yeah, just a nasty kill. Like it is like it's terrifying, and you're seeing like point of view shots from the grave as Sam's like throwing dirt into it, and it's very claustrophobic. Like it genuinely made me start to hyperventilate a little bit. Like that freaked me out pretty good. I was like, nope, nope, no buried alive, please. Like, especially not in a coffin. Like, at least in a coffin, you're like, okay, but like just having no way. Oh
Yeah, he
God,
had dirt thrown on him like John C. Reilly and Step Brothers.
right?
I'm
Oh.
burying you. I'm still alive. Yeah, and then he chases down one of the other kids and strings him up on a flagpole.
Yeah, that's rough too.
We
Like,
never get to see
damn.
that kid. I wish we got a payoff to that.
Yeah, there's a few of those where like, do we ever see anybody discover the Uncle Sam's body with the shear marks or anything?
No.
Yeah, I kind of wish that we'd at least get like some aftermath shots of, I suppose that's probably the direct to video budget showing, maybe, but like, it'd be cool to at least have some aftermath shots. Sometimes those are better than the actual kills, honestly.
So we get to the actual 4th of July parade. And you mentioned the weirdness of a graduation party at the end of June.
Yeah.
Why are these kids in
They're
school?
kids in school.
Like the day before the 4th of July, they're in school.
And it's too big to be a summer school class. Like, it's
Unless
not
they're
a
all really
summer school
stupid.
class. Like, because it's a full classroom with like a bunch of kids, and they're doing like show and tell shit.
Yeah. That was really
So,
mean.
like-
I don't mean to say like everyone in summer school is stupid, but
No.
you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
like not every kid is going to be in summer school. It's
No,
very weird.
definitely not. It's a really,
And it's
like those
they're
teachers
like in like
are
a
not
math
doing their
class
jobs.
too. They're not
Yeah.
even in. It's not even a history class.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird too. Like, usually these movies have something, like, the class is always talking about something that actually has to do with the movie. Maybe they just thought they were subverting expectations or something.
Okay,
But it's
here's the
so
thing.
crazy.
Like, there's a couple things they could have set up during the school scene, which is fine. There are some schools, even like nowadays, that do go the entire year and just take longer breaks throughout the year. So they have
Yeah,
school
that's
even
fair.
during the summer. So
I
it
just
could be
don't
one
know
of
if
those.
that was a thing in 1996.
I don't know. It might have been. Maybe this
Maybe.
school was one of them. But the question is, we get late. We like right after this, at the beginning of the parade, we have the little girl who's dressed up as George Washington, who forgets her hatchet, and we later see Uncle Sam with a hatchet in that classroom.
Yeah.
Also, we get introduced to maybe my favorite character in this movie.
The Robert Forrester.
No, not Robert
Oh.
Forrester. I don't even know what his name is. Wheelchair, burn face kid.
Oh God, yeah. Barry.
Barry,
is that kid's name. Yeah.
who is friends with Jody.
Yes.
Should have been in that class.
And whose mom is PJ,
It's PJ
Souls.
Souls. And this kid, Barry, had a fireworks accident the year before on the 4th of July that left him in a wheelchair, blind, and half of his face burnt. Not his hair, just his face.
Also, it's really not great burn makeup.
No, it's not. It's
You can see the seams.
yeah.
Which,
It's not
you
good.
know,
Also, he still has his bowl cut.
yeah. Yeah.
It's not good. But anyway,
It didn't burn his hairline, Casey.
apparently not. Maybe he
It was
was
a very
wearing like
respectful firework.
yeah. But yeah, it's just it's super weird that they don't set up some of these things, because Barry comes out of nowhere in the second half of this movie, and he's
Yeah.
a main character in the second half.
And he has like a weird psychic connection to Uncle Sam after Uncle Sam touches him once. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, I know you're in pain. I'm here to get revenge for you. And it's like, what? Where did that come from?
and then Jody like comes up to talk to Barry, and Barry's like, "It's okay, he won't hurt us."
Yeah.
Like, what? How do you know that?
Because he's psychic now. I don't know. It's so weird. It's like,
And it doesn't pay off.
no, it never gets. Oh, God. There's also in this sequence a really funny cut where like someone asks where the teacher is. And it's like maybe the shortest kill of the movie, but it's pretty funny. Where like someone's like, "Oh, he went back to get the axe." Cut to like an axe smashing into the guy's head, and he just falls to the classroom ground. It's really funny.
One of my favorite kills comes during this parade sequence.
Is it the sack race?
It's after the sack race. I do want to talk about that one in depth, but
Okay.
it's right after that where you get the shithead sheriff. No. Does the sheriff get it here? Or is this? No. It's Ralph. Ralph, who is his Jody's mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Ralph is this like lawyer who has like scammed the government out of tax money he was supposed to pay.
Yeah.
And Jody calls him out for it. Like, why do you give a shit, kid, about taxes?
Because he's a patriot, Casey.
Yeah, because he's a patriot, goddammit. Ralph is dressed up like Abe Lincoln, and he's on a float, and the mom comes up to check on him, and he just has a giant bullet hole through his head.
And she doesn't see it.
She doesn't see it, and he just falls over.
The entire chair and him off of the float, and then screams.
But I just love... It's so dark that he's dressed like Abe Lincoln and gets a
bullet right by the ear. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, I forgot about that scene. I didn't put that in my notes.
But the sack race. So there's this.
Okay, but before that, we get Robert Forster's character coming into the festivities, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about him real quick because he's so goddamn funny. He's not in this movie for very long, but he shows up. He's clearly being the like sleazy politician. And the first person he talks to kind of tells him off. And he turns to his assistant and he goes, "I thought you said the crowd was going to be friendly, Dan."
Glasses on? Glasses
else.
On or off? Like, that's the most important thing to him, was if his sunglasses should stay on or off in this hick-ass town.
He's so goddamn funny in this
He's really
movie.
funny in this. But the sack race. So the kid who's in the sack race that we're going to be talking about was the third vandalizer.
The
Vandal.
Yeah.
And he's singing the national anthem and intentionally messes it up, sings really bad, moons the crowd.
He's a dickhead.
He's a dickhead. I appreciate him, but he's a dickhead.
Yeah. Yep.
He ends up in the sack race, and it's like the longest sack race ever. It goes through like twists and turns and into the woods, and it's very weird. And he ends up starts like shoving people out of the way and knocking them to the ground, trying to get to the front. He eventually falls down a hill.
Like a really big hill, too.
A really big hill, and it looks like Chris Farley in Black Sheep.
Yes, it does.
Because he just keeps falling. It keeps going. It's
almost
so
like
funny.
the hot rod scene.
Yeah.
Every time you think it's going to stop, it just keeps going some more. And he winds up in an orchard. And Uncle Sam, who now I guess I guess it's supernatural that he resurrected from the dead. But he has like magic teleportation.
I like this scene.
Now.
It's cool.
I do like this scene too.
Because they're in between,
right?
In between each tree, he pops up like the guy in the sack, right? In the sack, I guess.
Yeah. The guy in the sack, yeah.
The guy in the sack that's in front of a tree, and like he disappears and then shows up in between the other two trees, and he passes in front of the tree and shows up in between the other two trees again until he's like right in front of him. Yeah, it's good stuff. It looks cool. I like the orchard.
Yep. I have two notes. I wrote two things during the sack race. The first one is, why is this movie stopping for a whole ass sack race? And then the second note I have was, okay, it was a good payoff to the sack race.
It is a good pay. It is
It is a good payoff, Charlie.
And the kid gets beheaded. Like a really good special effect.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. Then there's someone who gets a grill, there's like, it's a girl.
It's a girl. Okay, so it's a girl who's been helping with like the grill out, and she ends up going to have a smoke break, and she ends up getting caught with like a joint.
Oh yeah.
And the shithead sheriff takes it from her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's super weird. Anyway, she ends up getting like her face onto the grill after you see the decapitated head inside
the decapitated head's already on it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
In the chaos that ensues from all of this, the blind kid's parents literally just run away and leave him with Jet.
Yeah, so when they find Ralph's body in the Abe Lincoln suit, they don't like cancel any plans.
No.
4th of July celebration is going on as like it's still going to happen. All of it's going to go down. We're still going to have a fireworks show. But in the ensuing chaos of the congressman getting tied up,
Oh yeah.
that's why
That's
everyone.
what causes
That's
it.
what causes
That's
everyone to
right.
get going. It's not the dead body they found on a float, the bullet hole in his head.
I hadn't put anything from that in my notes. Like that scene, fantastic. I was like, "Oh shit, this is getting real."
Yeah,
Yeah,
the congressman's tied up on this like
on
I
the
don't know
firework display.
giant
It's like on a
firework display,
trellis. Yeah.
and fireworks are like shoved into his chest and start going off.
Yeah. And he just
Insane.
goes up. It's so over the top, but so like bombastic. I loved it. And so yeah, there's the chaos. PJ Souls and her husband just leave their blind kid in a wheelchair with some random guy
With Chef,
with Chef, and it's just like that made me laugh harder than anything
they
else.
legit
in the movie.
leave the movie.
Yeah, they're like, here, you take care of our kid. We're gonna go.
He says he has to bring her to the hospital for some reason.
Oh yeah, doesn't she like faint or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something happened. Like I don't know. It's so goddamn funny though. Yep, love it. Um,
The boyfriend cop here, this is where he dies. And it's like when he's like gonna run and save the congressman from the firework display. And like when it all explodes, he falls backwards down a hill and ends up getting impaled with an American flag by Uncle
Yep.
Sam.
Yep. Gnarly kill. I love that. And then Sam, content with ruining everybody's 4th of July, goes home to like be with his wife.
Because
Um,
that's what the kid in the wheelchair said he would do.
yeah.
If
And
you were a soldier coming back from war, what's the first thing you would do after killing all these people? You'd go
Yeah.
see your wife.
Yeah. Um I Here's the thing. Louise, his wife, his widow, is a nothing character, but I'll give it to her. The minute she sees him, she just unloads that gun right into. Like she doesn't hesitate 1 second. She's like, "No, fuck this," and she just puts like 8 bullets in him.
There's
It's
a
a
really
6-shooter, and she puts 8 bullets in him. But whatever.
there's a really cool shot that I like in this, and that's when Isaac Hayes is in the kitchen and sees the Uncle Sam mask. And then like a POV through the Uncle Sam mask shows Isaac Hayes through one eye hole and then Uncle Sam through the other one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because
Cool little shot.
He's unmasked at this point. Yeah, that's right.
He's
And
full zombie.
his full zombie like makeup is really good too. Like he's pretty gross looking. And it doesn't look all that cheap for like being a mid-90s.
No, it looks pretty good.
Like it's a pretty solid makeup job. Um
But they find out that the gun won't do shit. Jody even says that. He's like, lot of good that'll do. Like, shut
Yeah.
up, kid.
yeah, this kid sucks.
He's
I
the
hate him.
worst. Yeah.
Um
And
I,
basically, he tells Jed, hey, go get the cannon that you're in charge of for the 4th of July. Bring that over here. I'll distract my uncle for the time being. They eventually, like, Uncle Sam is like, hey, if you really want to be like me, you have to be dead.
yeah, which is like awful. Sure,
Awful.
whatever.
Yeah, what a terrible uncle. But they make their way outside, and Jed fires the cannon, and the house just explodes.
Yeah.
And Uncle Sam is completely engulfed in flames, and still gets up and starts walking towards
Yeah. The fire stuff
towards
is
Jody.
so good.
Insane.
Like he's on fire walking out, and he gets another cannonball that sends him flying into the burning house. I love that stunt too.
Yeah.
Like the wire work is so fun. Like it's so cheesy, but it's so good. Like you just see him flailing as he's like clearly being pulled back. And then the whole house just fucking blows up. And we're meant to believe that at least killed Uncle Sam.
That's it. And Jody burns all of his military toys, and
But here's the thing. I
That's
think
it.
that's a ruse. Because the smile he gives his mom at the end is not the smile of a kid who has been cured of psychopathy. That kid is still going to grow up to be an awful person.
That
And
kid is
like,
going to grow up to wear a red hat.
yes, 100%. The ending of this movie is like genuinely a little unsettling to me because like that smile that kid gives, I don't think it's a fantastic child actor performance, but that final look is good. Like it's unnerving. I don't like it.
This kid, okay, there's one thing that bugged me about this kid, Jody. He has a very like 90s like bowl cut.
Uh-huh.
Why doesn't
Well,
he
he's
have
supposed to.
why doesn't he have a military cut?
Yeah, he should 100% have it like high and short.
Yep.
It seems
It's a
weird that
very
they didn't
random
do
nitpick
that.
that I have, but
Yeah. I mean, it probably like the kid probably didn't want to do it and they weren't going to make like a 12-year-old
then we're
kid.
going to make him do it for Uncle Sam? Come on.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. I do also love that this ends with a for Lucio uh memoriam. That's pretty cool. Apparently the final shot is supposed to be reminiscent of the House by the Cemetery? Is that it?
With
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, with Bob. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Um God, I really want to rewatch that one. That was my favorite out of the Gates of Hell trilogy. It's so fun.
Yeah,
Wow, so
movie.
fucking
This
funny.
movie here, Uncle Sam, dedicated to the great Lucio Fulci.
Yep.
It also is the final movie for Bill Lustig. This was his last movie ever. He's still
Wow.
alive, still working on Blue Underground now, doing restorations for films like Uncle Sam, and I think they did the restoration for the Prowler.
Yeah, I think so. So it's kind of funny, like when we talked about Lustig earlier, I was like, he's a little bit like Henenlotter in where like he had a decade or so where he was just like firing on all cylinders and making like these like iconic B movies that we're still watching today, and then like hasn't really done much since. And he's also responsible for like a B movie trilogy that is really highly regarded by a lot of people. Um, just kind of, I don't know, interesting that they had somewhat similar career trajectories.
But also, like
Um,
William Lustig can be credited a lot for like the boutique renaissance of
yeah.
today because Blue Underground was one of the first doing restorations of
Oh,
these cult movies, and I think he was one of the
for
first to
sure.
like incorporate 4K.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's really. We should get him on the show sometime.
I bet he would do it. I bet he would
I
do
bet he
it.
would. Yeah.
But Uncle Sam, I freaking loved this movie. I had
Yeah.
so
Oh,
much
I
fun.
know you did.
There are so many flaws to this movie, and I'm not going to deny any of them. There's a lot of things that just don't make a whole lot of sense in this movie. But the fact that this is a very low budget, straight to video B movie with a really great like slasher story underneath. Also, a very on the nose criticism of the American military and patriotism as a like negative patriotism as a whole.
Yeah.
This movie should be applauded and more people should talk about Uncle Sam. And I
Yeah.
was not expecting to say that at all about this movie. I had no
Yeah.
idea what to expect because I had seen the image of just the Uncle Sam costume, like, okay, it's a cheesy slasher, kind of maybe like Jack Frost or Satan's Little Helper or something like that, where it's a very low budget slasher movie. No, there is something to be said about Uncle Sam. So highly recommend from me. I'm gonna give this 4 burned wheelchair kids out of 5.
It's such bad taste. You know,
What? He's not a real character. He's not a real person.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Also, why is he blind? From the
Fireworks are
fireworks?
bright, man. Fireworks are bright. Yeah.
But why would he be in a wheelchair?
'Cause fireworks can take your toes off too, I guess. I don't know.
That didn't stop.
There's a it's a
That didn't stop
firework
Isaac
accident,
Hayes from
Casey.
walking around. He was missing a goddamn leg. Anyway, Sam, how many sack races out of 5 are you giving this?
I'm not gonna lie. I was going into this expecting to give it about like 2 stars at best. I was shocked at how much I actually enjoyed this. I do think it starts rough and gets better as it goes. I will give this the same as I give the Prowler, but for different reasons. 3.5 out of 5. I really like this movie. It does come as a maybe a higher recommendation than the Prowler, and part of that's because I feel like the Prowler already has a very good reputation, and this movie does not. And I'm like, yeah, people should give this a shot. It's not as bad as the Letterboxd reviews would suggest.
Yeah, Andy the fat dude, what are you thinking? 1 star? Are you crazy?
We'll see if he listens this far into the episode.
We love you, Andy, but
We love you, Andy.
Uncle Sam's a banger, dude.
Yeah, no, I think the commentary and the kills make this one a win for me.
Yeah.
And also just Robert Forster coming in for like a scene and kind of running away with the movie. He's so funny. He's like playing the mayor from Jaws, but on roids. He's like, someone got shot, but I don't care. We're still celebrating.
This is going to be good publicity for me.
So good. So yeah, that's Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
All right. Before we move into Doobie Doin', we've got our Fangoria ad read. Fangoria for over 40 years has been the leading source. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get mine. Sorry. Not getting distracted. For people watching the video, Casey has the mini zine from Twin Peaks that they put out for Twin Peaks for subscribers. Can't wait to get mine.
So if that isn't, reason to listen up to Sam's ad read here, I don't know what is. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah. Fangoria for over 40 years has been the leading source in horror for all things spooky, horrific, and macabre. The famed magazine is back with a vengeance each quarter with a brand new issue of Fangoria magazine featuring interviews, retrospectives, and insight into the world of horror. We have an exclusive offer for our listeners to save 20% off their subscription to the magazine, the latest Fango merch, and so much more. You can visit shop.fangoria.com/screamsfromthebasement and use promo code screamsfromthebasement at checkout. Thanks to Fangoria for helping support the show. All right, Casey. You don't have much. I have a few things. We have one. I mean, we have a crossover.
We do. It's my one thing that I. It's my one thing that I've been doing. It's one thing that I've been doing. We made a trip down to Vermilion, South Dakota to catch.
Yes, we did.
28 years later. Obviously, we just covered 28 days and weeks later on our previous podcast that we were on together. And
shout out to the Coyote Twin.
Yeah, shout out to the Coyote Twin. Always awesome time there. Best popcorn in South Dakota. I'm just gonna say it.
It's so good. Yeah, that popcorn, I scarfed it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Speaking of incredible, 28 years later, incredible. Yes. I loved this movie. It is so good. It is not what I expected at all. From what I had heard from everyone was, oh, this is so anxiety-inducing and filled with dread. I didn't necessarily feel that. I think there are
at times,
sad and dramatic and maybe dreadful moments, but it's not like a dread-inducing movie throughout. I think it's maybe the most fun I've had watching a 28 movie. I think it's
I agree with that.
It's a really fun movie.
Especially in the back half. The back half has some good humor, and I don't think it's like tonally out of place either. Like it's character-driven humor, and I like that.
And it expands the world like I was not expecting at all. Where you look at those first two movies, where the first movie is very isolated. It's about pretty much one guy and his story during this zombie apocalypse. It's a zombie movie. They say it in this one, goddammit.
Yeah.
28 months later is just kind of like just an action movie. I don't know. Just kind of a bland action zombie movie. Here, we expand the universe where there's this island where people have built civilization for the past 28 years. And sometimes people go on to the mainland to,
to hunt and scavenge. Because they've been cut off from the rest of the world entirely. Yeah.
To learn how to kill, like because they have to kill to survive. Performances are incredible. I probably could have used more Jodie Comer. I think she's incredible in this, but maybe that's my biggest gripe with it. I wish they would have used her a little more. She
I
definitely
agree
gets
with
to
that.
come alive in the second half where she's one of the main focuses. But yeah, I loved this movie. Ray Fiennes is incredible. In
Hmm.
the second half of this, not what I was expecting from him at all. They introduce a new kind of infected zombie that hangs dong. It's the one. It's the
They all
thing.
do.
They all hang dong, but this guy's hanging. This guy's hanging dong.
Everybody's making such a big deal out of it. It's not in the movie that much.
No, no, no. But when it
It's
is in the
just not.
movie, he's got big dick.
Yeah, he does. It's a
He's got big dick
prosthetic though,
energy.
so it makes it less cool.
I was more impressed by the bush, if I'm being honest.
They probably had the bush to cover up those seams on the prosthetic.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's huge. It is. He has more hair down there than some people have on their head.
Yeah.
But
Um
yeah, it leaves off on this insane cliffhanger that I will not spoil
yeah.
for 28 days or 28 years later.
The Bone Temple.
The Bone Temple, great title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very excited for that one after leaving off on it.
Yeah.
This
I
movie rules. It's going to be one of my favorites of the year, that's for sure.
yeah. I echo everything you said. I really liked this. I don't think I liked it more than Days, but it's close to getting
They're
there.
also
Like
very
I could see
different
this.
movies.
They're very different movies, and I think Days is just a little more my speed for parts of it. But this one is just it's unlike any. I've heard a lot of people call this one cliche, and I'm kind of like, I mean, there are cliches in it for sure, but like. I found this one pretty interesting. Like, I did not know where this one was going at any given
It
twist or
builds
turn.
such a unique post-apocalyptic zombie world that I've
Yeah.
not seen in anything else.
Well, because like the thing about this, and I don't think you're really spoiling anything if you say this, but like the rest of the world is not affected by this. Like London, the UK is just quarantined,
Yeah, a
and
dude
it's very
shows up
much like
with a cell phone and talks about
yeah,
like social media and stuff.
yeah. And there's a really funny Botox joke that's
Yeah,
so goddamn hilarious. Like I laughed so hard at that. But it's like it's not like oh haha slapstick humor. Like it's humor that's derived from the fact that like there's a part of the world that has not been able to advance and has in fact regressed like civilization wise while the rest of the world has continued to I mean I guess you could call what we're doing advancing but I don't think we're that advanced anymore but it's just it's just a very interesting zombie movie and it was always entertaining. It's almost 2 hours long and it didn't feel it. Like by the time it ended, I was like, oh shit, like this is over. Like I'm not ready for it to be over. I can't fucking wait for the Bone Temple. I am so excited for that movie. Um, I do think these movies are inherently very British, and I'm curious to see what Nia DaCosta as an American woman brings to this series. I have no idea what to expect from the Bone Temple after watching 28 years later. Like you
and
have an idea of where it's going, but
I didn't look this up. I wonder how much she had involvement Nia DaCosta had on the ending of this movie, like the stinger, the setup for the Bone
yeah.
Temple.
Yeah, cuz it does kind of feel like a different movie in those last like 5 minutes essentially. Um I'm very curious to see where this goes. Also, as a fan of Nia DaCosta, I am so pumped to see her back in the horror genre again. I thought her Candyman movie was amazing. Yeah, this will be in my top 10 this year and I have a good feeling that the Bone Temple will probably be in my top 10 next year. I'll call it now. I'm calling my shot, Babe Ruth. Um yeah, loved this movie. It
Yeah,
was so good.
but for me, that's all. That's all I've been doobie doing. I know you
That's
have
all
quite a bit of things on your doobie doing list. Sam, what have you been up to
I
lately?
do. So I recently you guys know me. I love a good 90s B movie that has a massive budget because they were doing a lot of those like would have been made in the 50s for like no money whatsoever, but in the 90s they were giving them, mid to high budgets. the anacondas, the Lake Placids. I watched Deep Rising for the first time. Casey, have you seen Deep Rising?
I have not. No.
Okay. Treat Williams, Famke Janssen, like a huge cast of characters about this movie about a group of pirates that are getting ready to storm and raid a luxury cruise liner that's very much coded like the Titanic. I essentially I wrote a whole Patreon review on this one because I loved it that much. And in that I said it's basically Aliens meets Titanic. And there's a lot of CG in it that for the 90s was very good. Like it's directed by Stephen Sommers, who also did The Mummy, which is also a movie where people like knock the CG. But like what people don't understand is like back in that day, like that was really good CGI, you know? And we have better now. But like I genuinely
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say just don't say too much, because we are definitely covering Deep Rising and Leviathan as a double feature on our show at some point.
Yeah,
soon.
Yeah. So I won't say much. All I'll say is like I genuinely loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic. It's one of those that's like it's a little long for what it is, but like it's always moving to the next thing so quickly that you don't really care too much. There's a few lulls, but they get through them very, very quickly. So yeah, check out Deep Rising if you haven't. It was genuinely so much better than I was expecting. I watched the new bloody action thriller Novocaine with Jack Quaid. I think that just hit Peacock, I want to say. It's a good matinee action flick. There's some good gore in it. There's a great gore gag that finishes the movie that I really like. Jack Quaid is turning his affable, goofy charm up to 11 in this. It's pretty fantastic. Amber Midthunder from Prey is like the female lead in this, and she's really good in it. Some really fun action sequences that come from an angle of like this is just a normal guy. Like he's literally a bank manager who just can't feel pain. He's not an action hero. And so he's like getting the shit beat out of him, but he can't feel anything. And it mines a lot of comedy from that. And I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not going to be like a best movie of the year or anything, but it's a fun time if you're sitting at home scrolling through Peacock on a Saturday afternoon and you have time to watch something. I watched Jaws 3D for the first time. Never seen that one before.
For the first time?
For the first time. It took me
Have you seen Jaws The Revenge?
No. Until last year, I'd never seen a Jaws sequel. I watched Jaws 2 last year around this time, which I loved Jaws 2. I actually think Jaws 2 is like pretty fantastic.
It rips. Yeah, it's good.
Jaws 3D is not.
It's the worst one.
Is it? Here's the thing. Having not seen The Revenge, I did not think 3D was as like abysmal as a lot of people say it is. I think I've seen so many look, I watch a ton of shark movies. I have seen the bottom of the barrel. Jaws 3D is not bottom of the barrel. It's on the lower half of the barrel for sure, but there's enough here to where I'm like,
it's floating in the muck that's above the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Like the concept for this one is something that I'd really like to see done better, because like Jaws and SeaWorld is a really good.
Did you do a Quaid father-son double feature or?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I think we did actually. I think we watched both of these on the same day.
Because I assume Jaws 3D was on Peacock.
Yeah, it was. It was. Oh my God, that's so funny. I had not put that together at all. So yeah, Jaws 3D. If you don't like bad shark movies, don't watch it. If you do like bad shark movies,
the shark like bursting through the glass is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Funny. Yeah, the effects in this movie are abysmal. But there's like one scene in particular where a group of people in like an underwater tunnel at SeaWorld are like trapped in a like containment space in an airlock essentially underwater, and I genuinely think that's pretty tense. And that's probably coming from like my claustrophobia, my fear of the ocean in general. But like I was like, this is good. So there's like a little bit there to kind of keep you hooked, I guess. But most of it's pretty boring. Um, I went to the State Theater 2 nights in a row. Um, I went and saw The Life of Chuck. And I'm bringing this up because it's Mike Flanagan, it's Stephen King. It is not a horror movie. It is a drama with some supernatural and apocalyptic elements. There's this one's been weirdly like I wouldn't say divisive, but the reaction to it's been pretty muted, I would say. Like not as high a praise for it as a lot of Flanagan stuff. And a lot of that is coming from like the structure of this movie. It starts in Act 3 and moves backwards through its story. Um, this is something that I knew was coming because I read the story in 2020, back when it came out, right as the pandemic was starting, and it resonated. It struck such a chord with me that I like the minute I stopped reading that, I was like, that would make a great movie, except for it's unfilmable, and whoever took this on would be crazy to do it. And of course, Mike Flanagan did. He's to me, he's pulled it off again. Um, I think this is a beautiful movie. I think it is. I think it's pretty schmaltzy. Like I'm not gonna argue with that, but I think Flanagan does schmaltz better than anyone. I really liked this. I I'm not gonna say anything about it plot wise. Go into it blind. Like the trailers really don't tell you what the movie is. Just be prepared. It's not gonna unfold the way that you think it is. But if you sit with this movie and let it take you on its ride, I think it's well worth it. It's one of my favorites of the year. I really loved it. So Life of Chuck gets a really big recommendation from me. And then the State Theater was playing one of my goddamn favorite movies of all time. I've talked about it on the show. Casey, I know you watched it and you have a terrible opinion on it. But Jennifer's Body played at the State this weekend. I almost saw it twice. Um, Due to some technical issues we had Sunday, I did not end up going to the Sunday night screen. But I this movie, watching it on the big screen for the first time since opening weekend 2009, it was like watching it for the first time again. At first I was very nervous. There was not a very big crowd when I got there, but I also got there like 45 minutes early, and people started trickling in. We like it was a pretty full theater. Like there was a good group of people that were there, and it was a game crowd. They were laughing when they needed to. We were like it was such a good experience. I love this movie. I think I think it's Megan Fox's best work. Amanda Seyfried is so goddamn good in it, and like Adam Brody, so fucking funny as the leader of a satanic indie rock band. Um, I love this movie. I can't believe I got to see it on the big screen. I wish I could tell you guys go see it, but it's already out of the State Theater. So maybe in like 5 more years they'll play it again, and I'll go see it again then. But yeah, Jennifer's Body, fucking fantastic. And I rewatched Megan, which we covered on our very first second episode of
Second
our
episode.
second episode of this show. We covered Megan. I gave it a pretty middle of the road review, and I still kind of
I think we
feel
were
that
both
way.
semi-positive.
Yeah, like it's good. It's a fun movie. It's just not like it's not one that really like sticks with you too much. I found myself very much enjoying it this time around. Maybe because I knew what I was expecting. Uh, I'm very excited for Megan too. I'm sad that it is not doing better at the box office, and I am going to do my best to get out to the theater and do my part.
We should set that up.
Yeah, we should hit up Megan soon. Megan 2 soon. Cuz yeah, the first one's a lot of fun, and I think the second one looks like it's going to be even more fun. Um and the last one, it's kind of iffy on whether or not this can be talked about on a horror podcast, but it deals with demons from an underworld, so I'm going to talk about it. I watched the Netflix kind of sensation right now, K-pop Demon Hunters. It is an animated movie from Sony Animation, who does like the Spider-Verse movies. and The Mitchells and the Machines, which also hit Netflix. K-pop Demon Hunters has a banging soundtrack. Um, it is beautifully animated, and it's like honestly, it's a trans allegory. Like there's very overt, like not overt, but it feels very much like a trans allegory, and that's all I'll really say about it. The soundtrack is one of the first soundtracks to break the top 10 on the Billboard 100 in quite some time. And for good reason. Like these songs are bangers. Like even if you don't like K-pop, I feel like you're gonna dig this soundtrack. Um, Full disclosure, I've watched it twice since it since it hit Netflix. It's great. I love it, and I hope people who even have like a passing interest in it check it out. It's I haven't watched any other animated movies this year. I don't think. No wait, I watched Dogman. It's my favorite animated movie of the year. So yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. It is it's kind of having a moment right now, and for good reason. It's a ton of fun. It's got a pretty heartfelt story. It's a little predictable, but it's like it's a fucking PG animated movie for kids. Like go fuck yourself if you're like, oh, I wasn't surprised once in this movie. Like okay. So that's what I've been doobie doing. Got through that pretty quick actually.
Yeah. I will probably be talking about that next time we're back together. Just
Yeah,
because
you should watch it. It's fun.
I came home and Kayla was probably 3/4 of the way through the movie, and I was kind of catching glimpses of. I don't like watching movies like I've never seen, just like jumping in.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like, all right,
That's
I
fair.
will watch this at some point, but I don't want to know
Yeah.
anything that's going to go on.
Oh, the final song.
So I
is
will
so
watch
good.
it at some point soon. But
Yeah.
yeah, speaking of next time, Sam, let's get into our plugs and our lineup for the rest of the month of July.
Yeah,
Of
let's
course,
do
this
it.
is coming out on the 4th of July. Next week, we have an awesome, incredible interview coming out with the one and only Adam Green talking about Yorkie-thon 9, his charity fundraising event, weekend-long event. So much fun talking to Adam, at least for the parts that I got to talk to him on, because we
Yeah.
had terrible technical issues. We'll say it
Yes.
right here, right now. Sam had to finish the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes by yourself.
Yep. And that was after. So let's peel the curtain back on this interview a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't our
Let's
fault.
peel it back. It wasn't our fault. Like Riverside was just having like some site-wide issues that just happened to correspond with when we scheduled this interview.
Yeah,
with
and a
Adam
huge
Green.
interview. Yeah.
We scored Adam Green on the podcast, and of course, it's the time that our hosting site goes kaput. So Casey and I both got kicked off of the call at the same time.
In the
could
middle
not
of a
get
question that Adam was answering.
Yes, he was in mid-answer, and we got booted off the call. I was on my laptop where I usually podcast from. It would not let me back in on my laptop. So I went to get my phone, realized I did not have the proper headphones for my phone because they were down in my car. So I hoofed it all the way down my apartment stairs, ran out to my car, got my headphones, ran all the way back up. My phone thankfully let me back into the room. I was so out of breath, it took me about 5 more minutes just to like be able to talk normally. And while that was happening, Casey got booted off for good and couldn't sign in on his phone, couldn't sign in on anything. And then like Riverside was glitching so hard for the second half of that interview, dude. Like so bad. Like I'm like, I think he's still talking, but I don't know. Like it was, you know what? We pulled it off. And I think he had a good time on our show. And he did seem genuine when he said
he told
would,
us
he
to
would come
laugh
back
about
on.
this, and
He
of
told us
course
to
we
laugh
are
about
laughing
it.
about it because
We
it
are,
was
'cause it was
completely
so
out of our
funny.
hands, and yeah. So I'm
So-
excited to listen to the interview because I only was there for half of it. I have no idea what you guys talked about in the second half. So
Honestly, even the half I was there for, there were times where I'm like, Riverside just froze up and I couldn't hear what he was saying, and then it'd do the like, and they'd be back, and I'm like, oh god, I missed half of your answer.
yeah.
So you know, shit like that happens when you've
We're gonna
you know,
make
we-
chicken salad out of chicken shit, Adam is
Yeah.
going to make chicken salad out of chicken shit for us because
Yeah.
it did not kick him out until like the final question.
Yeah, it was like the final question. And then he got right back in,
Yeah.
and it was like glitching a little bit. But he was a consummate professional. Rewatching that, when we both drop out for the first time, he doesn't stop talking. You can't even tell. He keeps going. Like, the dude has clearly been podcasting for 12 years and just knows what to do. It was so fun. Like, he laughed a lot with us even before we got booted out, and we laughed after all the technical shit started happening. So I guess what we're saying is this is an interview you're not going to want to miss for a myriad of reasons.
And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to be talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, anticipation for the upcoming requel of I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we're going to be talking about those two movies. Maybe Sam will come around to them. I don't know.
I do like Still. I don't know. The first one's never been my favorite, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is the time.
And then our last interview for the month is with Justin Beam from Reverend Entertainment, talking about all about special features on Blu-rays and DVDs. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the Full Moon box set that is going to be coming out from Umbrella Entertainment. And Justin does literally pick up any Shout Factory Blu-ray that you have at your house. He's probably done the special features on it.
Yeah, super cool.
Super cool. Another Iowa boy that we're going to be talking to, too.
Yeah.
So that is what we have coming up here for the month of July. But Sam, let's get to our plugs. Where can the people find this podcast if they want to listen to those upcoming episodes?
Well, you can listen to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube if you like the video component. If you like to see our ugly mugs, go ahead and subscribe there. Be sure to leave us 5-star ratings and, like and comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps us reach more people so that we can talk to more people about all things spooky. You can also find us on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. We've been blowing up for specific reasons on TikTok. We've got a lot of trolls in our comments. Keep them coming, trolls.
Come on, troll. Pay your toll.
Pay your toll, troll. It's been fun. It's been fun. Watching the TikTok stuff has been hilarious. So, keep it coming.
Well, if you want to help support the show, besides doing all that awesome stuff like subscribing or following us on social media, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/screensfromthebasement. Check out the link in the episode description. You can join our $1 or $5 tier. Our $5 tier, though, you get awesome stuff each and every month, including bonus episodes, video vlogs, and written reviews. We just dropped on our Patreon our June bonus episode, which was both of us counting down our top 10 I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson sketches. So much fun. We get to have a blast on Patreon just breaking formula and just doing whatever the hell we want. Whatever the hell we want. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun. There were no ghosts just fucking coming out of the walls in the episode at all, besides out of our mouth. But we got some fun stuff planned here for the month of July. But join us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff over there. Also, you can check out our merch store on TeePublic. Again, link in the episode description. I believe our store is on sale as well over the 4th of July weekend. So 35% off anything site-wide. That means $16 t-shirts like the one I'm repping right now. I got our Screams by Night Halfway to Halloween shirt on. Pick up any of our awesome designs. Each and every purchase helps support the pod, and you get some awesome swag.
Hell yeah.
But Sam, I think that's it. I think that's everything.
That's it. That is our Independence Day special. Let us know what you think of both the Prowler and Uncle Sam. Tell us why we're right. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us
and
what
until
you
next
think
time.
we do off screen.
And until next time.
Thanks for tuning in, and sweet screams.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.